Okay, good afternoon, ladies and gents. I hope all is well. Ionis, how you doing? Speedy, good morning. Okay, so let's have a look today. Okay, so good day for me yesterday. I had a dry spell for about 2.5 weeks, and you kind of almost get a bit scared to get in and take a trade, but I had a nice setup yesterday. I think a few took it. It was earlier, pre-market. Mac marked it, so all good. So at least now I seem to be out of my stale part. That's the trouble, really. It's you kind of either get scared or a little bit out of practice almost, or a little bit nervous to take a trade. So all good anyway. So let's have a look. So we have got some news coming up in around about 30 minutes. Market is just open now. It's a bit of a slow start, actually. It's been open like 25, 30 seconds, and it's quite a slow start. So iPad news, and it's 1500. Beautiful. So excellent. Okay, my trade, my chart's all loaded. We're all, excuse me, all ready to go. So there was a trade that I just missed that I pretty much would have taken on the CL chart. That one there, the higher low, I like that. We had this channel down there with a break, couple of pushes to or one push, two pushes to a new low. We had a couple of legs up. We came down and retested this a second time, and there was a nice little bullish bar there and a higher low there. Leg down, two legs up, leg down. I really like that, but I just nipped off the chart just for a second. I mean, that would have been lovely, and didn't move. I mean, it's back at the EMA really quickly. So, so far, this last week or so, the CL hasn't been moving very well. It's been really sort of, I mean, look at that. It's a bit all over the place. And then all that messy stuff, it's just not very clear. And then this morning so far, we've got a lovely looking little trend with a break, two pushes down, no low, two legs up, two legs down. So it's playing quite nice this morning. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we may get something off that today. Are you trading CL? Yes, I am, bud. For how many ticks? Okay, so there are a few traders, I think Thomas Wade, Marco, and Vladdy as well trade. And I know the comment that Vladdy made, or the statement that Vladdy made on Mac's chart a while back, he trades the 500 tick CL chart and goes for 10 ticks profit. So 2 contracts, 10 ticks would be $200 profit. So it's very similar. It works out very similar sort of risk, and so it's relatively easy to think about it. But just have a look at it and have a play around with it for a while first if you're not sure. But it pretty much works exactly the same. Price actions, price action. Oh, let me just have a look at this. Price actions, price action. So it should work exactly the same. But Vladdy's been trading it for 6 months. I know Marco trades it. I'm pretty sure Thomas Wade trades it. And there's probably a bunch of others. Once people start to get some success with it, and we all know there's a lack of trades anyway, people sort of start to, think, okay, well, I'll give it a go. Because, there's no secret. Trades are a little bit thin on the ground at the moment. So, what am I doing here? So, I was going to tell you guys something. I can't remember what it was now. It's okay. It's okay. It's all right. I had a message from Karina yesterday. Who's trying to figure out. Was having a few problems trying to get the OCO. I was gonna show her live on stream, but I think she's grasped it now. I think she's worked it out. So it can be a bit fiddly if you've not done it before. So okay, so we've got a channel up here. We've got a channel, a break, and a new low. What is going on today anyway? So let me just have a look. So keep it in mind that news is coming up. So hopefully I'm back in the running now. finally got myself out of that. The trouble is, when you have had a dry spell, and I went flipping 7 or 8 days without a trade, and it's kind of gets a bit scary because, you know, you spend all this time and all these hours and all this effort to try and get somewhere. I managed to get up to 20 accounts and the trades almost dry up, and you kind of think, what the hell do I do? So I think you can sort of almost fall out of practice a little bit. Maybe because I've got a few more accounts. Hey Thomas, how you doing, mate? Maybe because I've got a few more accounts, and when there's a little bit more accounts on the line, maybe I was being a little bit overcautious. But I've also ditched the NQ chart as well, as I said yesterday, just in case anybody wasn't aware. Apparently the ES has way more, about 3 times the amount of volume going through. So if anything, the ES detects the NQ price. So I did find it served me well from time to time. If I had a trade on the ES that wasn't brilliant, sometimes I entered it based on what I was seeing on the NQ. But if it wasn't brilliant, then perhaps it's fair to say that I probably should have avoided it anyway. But I have missed a few trades, so I think it's time to get rid of it. And the beauty is it's obviously less to look at, less distraction, and it's made some space for Thomas Wade's Discord, which I'm really pleased about, actually. I noticed, I was chatting to a few of the traders yesterday. I know Taylor from Top Pick Trading is on here every day. And what I like about it is Thomas Wade is constant. I mean, look, he's just clocked in a minute ago. He's got a chart there. He's got a chart, I mean, literally within 2 minutes. So it sort of helps you, because half the battle sometimes is my channel right? Because if you get your channel wrong, you can mess up on a trade. So I like the fact that he's constantly just updating stuff. So it just helps you. I think my biggest problem now is not so much my skill level. That's at a level where I can build up. It's confidence, I think. Lack of belief, or, you know, self-belief. But yeah, I mean, I've had my chart like this for a few minutes now. Thomas Wade's just popped his on. He's got it exactly the same channel with a little channel and a break. So he tends to put pretty much the same as I've got, and when you see that again and again, it does help your confidence, because there's so much failure when you're learning to trade, and you know, you can start questioning, am I doing things right? What am I missing? Have you figured out the screenshot yet? Oh no, I haven't. I forgot all about it, to be fair. I even forgot to clean my screen, which I've just done this morning, and it's so much better. I've not cleaned this screen since 8 months I've had it, and you don't realise how much crap gets on it. But I will sort it out later. It's a good point, actually. I knew there was something else I forgot last night, but my screen just looks like a new screen now. So if you've not cleaned your screen, guys, clean them. It's so much different. It's just popped. So what are we doing here now? Bearing in mind this news is approaching. We've had a break of this. I think there's a good chance, leg and leg, that we may pop up and make the new highs. We could certainly get up here, and the highs of the day are up here. So let's just have a look back yesterday. What have we seen? Leg and a leg, leg and a leg, leg and a leg, leg. Yeah, I think there's a good chance we can get up. That doesn't interest me, though. Something about this I don't like. Is it me being paranoid? There's something I don't like about this. It's gone a bit too far for a higher low, really. It's a channel up with a break. I'd say it probably work, but there's something I don't like about it, and I don't quite know why. That's what I find now. Something just doesn't feel right. But we've got a channel up here with a clear break, 2 legs down, a strong push above the EMA. In fact, it's probably not that bad, I don't think.
Order submitted.
Just being a little bit overcautious here. We have pushed strongly above. It's 10 ticks. I don't like that anyway, so
Order
that's even better
canceled.
news. It's going a bit sideways now, so I'm glad I didn't. Never triggered anyway, so. Yeah, something I don't like about this. I don't know why. Sometimes it's hard to put your finger on it, but I like that feeling I get because it serves me well. In fact, I'd have preferred that to trigger a bit and give us a second entry long would have been better. We've still got 20 minutes to the news, so we're still good. But yeah, if that had been a good setup, I think it would have worked. But something just doesn't feel right, and I think that's why it hasn't triggered. Because I've heard Thomas Wade say leg and a leg, strong push-up for the EMA. But that, to me, would have been much better, closer to this EMA. Yeah, someone else has put so glad it didn't trigger. Yeah, I think you just get a feeling. Anybody else have a feeling that something doesn't feel right there? There's an argument. Let me have a look. There's an argument for that. Initial uptrend. Not sure if Thomas has it right. Are you on his Discord? Are you, Thomas? Is it Discord or Discord? Discord. All right. So leg and a leg. Okay, so this is pushing up. So there's kind of a leg and a leg. Maybe a high low from here wouldn't be a bad option. Yeah, I've got that news approaching. So just keep that in mind. It's in just over 15 minutes. Sometimes with that great big red thing right in front of me, I still forget. That focused on this area here. So that's interesting. So we've had a leg up. We've had 1, 2 little legs down and a strong push up. So if we can get a higher low here, I don't think that's a bad option. But we have had a break. We've made 1 attempt to go higher, a second attempt to go higher, and this could be a 3rd attempt to go higher. So this is interesting. It's kind of a triple test as well, isn't it? But the thing is, at the moment, with these 2 legs down, and my bias is up. So I wouldn't be thinking about shorts at the moment, although technically we've had a break. We've made 1, 2, 3 attempts to go higher. So there is a possibility it could come down for a bit there. But if you connect the first 2 swings, they're already breaking a new high. Where did you go from here? First 2 swings. Are you about there? Let's have a look. Possibly. Trouble is, if we connect from there to there, it's not really technically a channel, is it? Because it's supposed to touch 3 times. I would feel more comfortable there. We got a touch there, and a touch there, and a touch there. It fits nice there. So, but what I will give you, there is a possibility you could be right, because this to me looks like maybe finding a little bit of support. And sometimes, if we have had a break, sometimes it could indicate that it's going higher, trap some longs, and then start to come down. So you may be right. So I'm not in the market for long at the moment anyway, because it looks more like it's going sideways at the moment. Yeah, note to self. figure out how to screenshot this quickly and drag it into a Discord. There's obviously quick ways of doing it because Thomas Wade seems to do it every few minutes, bum like that. So, hey Stephen, how you doing, buddy? It doesn't look like a convincing break to me. What this? To me, we could just be doing a pre-news. Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it? I mean, one thing we can agree on, it seems to be going sideways. We've got a leg up there. I think it'll push up for a new high. I mean, regardless of whether it's the channel, I think at the moment for me, it's looking like if you take that bottom, it's looking like a likely start to a range day. If you look at the bottom there, in fact, you know what? That wouldn't have been a bad little trade there, I think. We've had a channel with a couple of legs up. Depending on what you look at this, but we've got 3 nice little bounces here. That might not have been a bad option. But yeah, so it is. We have got a leg and a leg. It's likely to break a new high. So I think it is. I think it is 2 legs down, and it is working up. We're going to make a new high in a second anyway. But if you look at this from the highs of yesterday, or is it the highs? No, but just that last little push before we had a few bars back before the market closed. It's a bit flat there, isn't it? And same here. So I think for me, it's likely starting to look like a range day. So for that fact, I would expect this, something like that, which funnily enough would take us right up to these highs. So a leg with 2 leg correction. I think that's going to move. It's looking like to me, when it went sideways a bit, you start asking the question, have I got it right? Is it a break? Is it this? I think it is a channel. I think it visually looks okay. You could say there's 3 touches there. It fits very nicely along the top edge as well. But if you notice, we're at the top here, that bar there, this section of bars here haven't quite got to the top. And when that happens, I always say lack of momentum, we're due a break. And that's what we did. We had another little go and a break. So there is 2 little legs, leg and a leg, little pullback. And I think there's probably what looks to me the start of a new channel up there. I think that's quite possible. It's not as steep as I'd like it. Yeah, I prefer it much steeper because that could take a while. Usually after that, once we break higher, I think a lot of traders then are gunning for these tops, and I think it tends to push a little bit. So I'd expect that to be a little bit steeper. But it is 2 legs. I mean, have we made a new high there? I think we've made a joint high, have we? Just zoom in a bit. Yeah, I think it's a matching high. Let's have a look. Yeah, it is. So it's a matching high. But with this channel here and 2 legs of correction, I think the chances of us getting to the top are pretty good. So that's what you've got. Yeah, 2 legs down, 2 legs up. We've had a matching high. We're having another go, so we may step down here before we push up, or we could just nick it now. So yeah, so bearing in mind, if you look at this top, we're right at the top anyway. So you think we're due, you know, if we've made a new high now, you're not really going to want to buy here, are you? If you're going to buy for this market to go up, it's going to be around here, really, isn't it? So I think this is likely to come down to at least the EMA process of elimination, really, isn't it? So it is with this bottom here, top there, looking like lightly a range day, which is unusual for this market. Bit of sarcasm there, because that's all it seems to do lately. In all fairness, I used to hate ranges. I actually don't mind them now, as long as they we had a good start of one yesterday. It worked really nice. That was a really nice start to a range. The bottoms fitted nice. These tops fitted nice. So there was a few trades there. If you're a range trader, you could trade those ranges. There was definitely a few options there. So, which is unusual for this, for the ES lately, because, you know, trades have sort of almost fizzled out. I'm going to have to, what do I make? Do I make bar spacing less? It's a bit better, I think. So we'll see how that goes. So this news, guys, is pending. I've got no idea what's going to happen today. Sometimes it rockets. It's usually, I'll tell you one thing I know, it's the CPI data. Whenever we get that come out, consumer price index, we do tend to get strong move with that one. So if you're a news trader for your evals, I think that's a good option. For some reason, I have tried to trade the news on a couple of them, and just you're expecting this big move, and there's just nothing. It's like a big anticlimax. Nothing really happens. So with that leg up and that correction, I think it's likely we end up here. Whether we go leg, and then up, that's possible as well, because we are finding some support there. So maybe it's partly because of the news, but I think there's a good chance we could have a bit of a penguin style trade there, possibly. 2 legs and then a move up, so that's possible. How long we got? About 8 minutes. The ATR's come down a bit now, so. Yeah, it's funny that, isn't it? Leg up, 2 legs of correction. Look where the measured move finishes, right up here. 1 tick above that. So maybe a second entry long off here, possible. Or 1, we got the news, and 2, it's a little bit sideways there, so it could trigger you, come down to here. So we've got to move down, 2 legs up. We may get another 2 legs down before it shoots up in that direction, because that to me is not a very steep chart. I'd expect after that something almost as steep. So this tells me it's just struggling. It came up nice and strong. It's just struggling it. So I would say I would like to see this do this and then push up. But we have got that news, so whether that's anything to do with this going a little bit sideways. What I noticed, if you look at Bookmap just before the news, where you get that sort of load of colour, right next to the left of price, it goes black. You know, you can see all the traders dumping the positions coming up to the market. In fact, let's have a quick look on Bookmap. Yeah, nothing as yet. Usually with Bookmap, all this area here starts to clear. Instead of being all colourful like this, it just goes like this, all black right the way along there. And that, for me, is usually an indication of how sort of violent that move may be. So that's interesting. Did anybody vote? Did they on the... anybody vote on that Apex stuff yesterday? I didn't actually, because one of the first questions was, how many valuations have you failed? And I thought, I really don't want to indulge. I really don't want to give them that information. because they may look at it and go, this guy's an idiot. Let's get rid of him. So, yeah, I thought, no. If I say I'm up into the 500, they may stick straight away, put a red flag up against my name. So I thought, I'll let someone else fill it in. Okay, so that's interesting on the CL chart. I'm not trading it. I can't remember whether oil has the same impact from this job stuff. So we've got a leg, the break and a leg. So every time we come back to that bottom line there, either one of those or that one, this thing pushes up. So we keep an eye on that. What's that bar? 10 ticks. Can't remember. I'm pretty sure I looked the other day, and when we had the news, it didn't affect the chart the same. It didn't affect the CL the same. We'll roll out the red carpet. You never know. Yeah, they might just put a nice flag saying "valued customer." You never know. Marge, having said that, I was having a chat on Nutty's channel a week or two ago, and I happened to I've joined the 500 club, and I was blown away. Nutty's done way more than me. There was loads of 6/8s. There was one guy that had 1200. So when you start talking to other traders, you tend to think, when you're failing so much, it does go through your mind, is it just me? Am I a complete moron who's never going to get this? So it's quite therapeutic when you find out you're probably actually one of the better ones. So yeah, it's because sometimes you just, you sit in a room by yourself and you don't really know what's going on out there. You don't know whether it's just you. So yeah, 1200 failed evaluations. Unbelievable, isn't it? So the trouble is, some people trade them in bunches of 10 and 20. I think I'm on about 550 or something like that. Hopefully now I've got 20 accounts. My number should slow, hopefully. Okay, so I'm getting that move I expected down here, this leg down here. So we got a leg up, leg down, leg down. So I'm pretty sure, depending on what the news, which is in 3 minutes, incidentally, depending on what happens with the news, I think there's a fair chance that we're going to get up to the top. It's making sense, isn't it? Leg and leg, leg and leg. It's looking like a range. If you look at the bottom, there's some clearly support along there, and same with the top. And we've come down and we're going up. So straight away for me, this just says range. And as we know, we spend such a lot of time in ranges. So hopefully, if the news doesn't create too much chaos, we may have this would be more like a penguin style trade, leg up, 2 clear attempts to go lower, and then hopefully we can push up nice and strong, maybe a higher low. I know penguin waits for it to push through the EMA and then catches it on a limit order. Generally, the theory is when it bounces and it pushes, because sometimes if you go long, it could trigger and come down. But when it pushes up strongly through the EMA, usually you get a pullback and a continuation. You can see it there. Strong push above the EMA. You think there's a fair chance we're going to get to these highs now. Then when we had the pullback, I think they call that a fair value gap anyway. A little thing there. I don't trade those, but I think I'm aware of what they are. Where is it there? So yeah, there's a fair value gap there. And it's come back into it. So I think Penguin would take that on a limit order. So am I talking about Penguin here? Oh yeah, obviously, but from down here, he would probably take that on a limit order. He would have his stop and generally want to get out before the highs. In that case, it worked perfectly, but this is only really one push down, but this is a second one. Hopefully this is a bit of a pullback. Maybe trap some longs, and I'd like to see this come down here, but imagine how much that would be if it was real money though. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. Okay, look at Bookmap now. So all the orders are ditching. It's all going black, isn't it? So that tells me it's likely going to be a pretty swift move. All of a sudden, positions start to dump and everything goes black. There's still a bit there. That, I believe, is the VWAP, I think. But it's all going black, isn't it? So that tells me traders They usually pull in the limits before the news. Yeah, that tells me it's quite likely going to be a quick move. So if you're in a trade now, you need to be out of it. We've got about 20 seconds. Done this before, and sometimes it just goes nothing. But I think with those positions getting pulled from Bookmap, I think it might be a bit of a spiky one. Hopefully, I'd like it to come down here first. So any second now. Okay, so 2 bars. Let's have a look. It's not the biggest move, but it's enough to stop you out here if you've gone short here or somewhere. So nothing too major. 13.5 point push up, so it looks like we're pulling back a little bit there. So, okay, so yeah, I mean, you can consider that a leg back. So leg back, and then up. A lot of the time, the news does follow the trend anyway, sometimes. I think it just works at a slightly quicker pace. So we can get rid of that now. So nothing major, but you don't really want to be in there because if you're in the wrong direction. I accidentally traded the news once on I think it was on a peer account, maybe a couple of years ago, year and a half ago. And I had a 2-point stop and it pushed you that quick. That 2-point turned into 5 points. So just because you've got a 2-point stop doesn't mean it will sell you out for 2 points. If market moves quick enough and you're in the list further back, it could potentially cost you more. So if you lost 5 points on 20 accounts, it can be quite costly. And I got to say, this add-on I've had since I first joined Mac 3 years ago, it's never failed me. This excellent bit of kit. This, because I'm trading the CL. See what I mean? CL's done nothing. I noticed that the other day. It's just done nothing. If we can get a higher low here, I may be interested in taking this. It bounced here, pushed up, bounced here, pushed up eventually. I don't think it's going to give us a higher low, is it? But yeah, there is specific news to oil. I think it's OPEC is one of them, but I've only really been looking at it for a while, so I'm really not yet familiar. So I'm just browsing on Forex Factory and see if anybody's put anything to do with oil on there. Someone did take a trade as well, Victor. He went long. His bars are quite different from me. Let me have a look. Yeah, there was a guy's gone long here that he had a wick there. Excuse me a sec. Sorry about that. Yeah, it's interesting, this. It's quite different, that is. It's got a... Let me just bring that in quickly. He's got these 2 legs down, a little bit sideways, and he's got a wick there. You see that? He's got that wick. Which would be this bar there, and we haven't there, interestingly enough. But he's gone long there, and in fact, 2 legs down. His chart looks quite different, unless he might not have the 2000 tick chart. That's unusual. So he's got this and this. He's got that first push up. He's got a big bearish pin bar here, right at the top. And he's got in long there. That's unusual. Oh, you moron, I missed that. We came down, stopped that out and that, and no, I still don't like that. But I thought there was a good chance we'd get up there. It's a shame, really. We didn't have a higher low there. Oh, sorry, my mistake. That was the higher low I was looking for, but it didn't appear. But look at that. He might need to, yeah, he may do. Mind you, he's just got a trade out of it. So perhaps he's doing better than we are. My channel is a spike and a channel. You're about here or down here, are you, Sean? Someone else took that same trade as well. Let's have a look. No, there's Thomas's chart. It's the same as mine. He's got no wick there. Yeah, it's exactly the same as mine. So he's got it as a channel, 2 legs down, a push up. So yeah, he's got it the same as mine. So that other guy's got a big wick down there. He's got a big bearish pin bar there as well. So that's interesting. Okay, let me have a look here. There may be something larger there. Ooh, I'm liking that, I think. Let's have a look right to that very bottom. Look at that. Anybody watch Mac's video last night? Anybody notice how many members he's got? Yeah, he forgot to stop the recording and then went into his emails. I think he's got 7,000 members. I was quite surprised, actually. 7,000 members. And I was straight away, my head was going into calculator mode. It's $125 times 7,000. He's making a few quid off us. Does anyone place an order during the news or after? The only time I ever put an order in the news, but is when I'm trading an evaluation, if I'm feeling in a risky mood. Yeah, Thomas Way's got that in a range as well. So not sure about that. No, it's a bit too large, that, I think. I don't think we're finished with the up, though. Because we've come up here and there's nothing really. Well, I suppose there is a bit of support there, isn't there? I'd still like to have seen that go higher. So channel break, clearly a new high. So are we treating this as a downtrend now? I mean, technically that is played out, isn't it? We actually made a new high. We started to come down then. The only reason we shut up was because of the news, so perhaps we pushed up. We've actually recovered all this now. This is where we started. The spike and channel around is around 140 my time. Spike and a channel. Okay. So 140. So you're around about here, are you? Is that right? Spike and a channel. So you went there, did you? Touch. Yeah. Trouble is, we've gone from here. There's only really one touch there, isn't there? I mean, even if it is, we've had a break out of it and a new couple of pushes up to a new high, so it's played out really, isn't it? Too risky, that. You can consider it a lower high. It's way too far from the EMA. Little channel with a break. It may work, but this is just nothing I can do, unfortunately. Oh, excuse me. It kind of is a leg and a leg and a lower high, really. If that had been closer to that EMA up here, it might not have been a bad go. You short it for a scalp. It's a bit too far from that EMA. See, I've gone from those top swings, haven't I? Yeah, it didn't go for far, did it? It's a bit sideways as well. How far did it? So if you took it a tick below there, yeah, it probably got 2 points out of it. So, thing is, really, in all fairness, you've got to look left, haven't you? And there is some support there. So it has gone below there anyway. So it's a bit, yeah, it's one of those things, isn't it? It didn't jump out at me. If that was further up here, it may have been of interest. So 1, 2, 3, possible triple test. Let's have a look. Fall to tick and okay, yeah, okay. Makes the world a difference, doesn't it? Yeah, absolutely. So maybe we see two legs. One, it's little two leg little correction, that, isn't it? And then one tritone higher, second one. That's interesting. Second entry short. That is very interesting.
Order submitted.
Oh shit! It's massive. Orange bar thing again. Yeah, okay.
Order
so that
canceled.
clearly worked. I like the look of it anyway. Sideways. That's scary. That is. Let me just try this again.
Order submitted.
Scary when they go orange.
Order cancelled. So I like that. Little bit of sideways. There was a higher low there. Triggered up. Trapped some trades. Came straight down. I mean, it was a massive bar, really, wasn't it? And what was it? About 14, 15 ticks. Way too risky, that. But you can see what happened, can't you? Unfortunately, it was just too big. You couldn't have got in. If you'd have taken a tick above there and a tick below, flipping hell. Let's say 5 points, $500 times 10. I'm not risking $5,000 going short there. I mean, it may work. We got a leg down sideways. We've come off here. This is a bit of a pullback, so maybe it will work. But I'm just staying out of this, unfortunately, because it could bounce here and go sideways. Yeah, we're coming for another leg here. That's a shame there.
Another thing I was looking at on the CL was here. I was hoping we get a higher low, leg up, bit of a pullback. I like the way we triggered below that bearish bar and pushed up. I was looking for a higher low here for a second leg up. This is working in quite a nice range at the moment. Tops are nice. Bottoms are pretty good. I'll probably take that higher. Yeah, leg up, leg up. I was looking for a higher low here, so leg. 2 attempts to go low. We could break out here. This is, I still expect this. That's quite a strong move, that is. Yeah, so it has broken out there. Let's see what happens. Shame about that. If that finished down here, I'd have jumped all over that. But I think as that broke above there started coming down, traders just got in with shorts there, which forced that down. So we've had a break, 1-2 pushes down to a new low. So looks to me, yeah, like it's bounced off support there. Let's get rid of these. So leg, push up, couple of legs back. Are we going to finally push up now because for this? Check Apex Discord notice board. Apex Discord notice board. Oh god, what's happening now? Let's have a look. Don't tell me. I can't trade. Where is the notice board, just incidentally? Right down here. I don't even know how to get to the notice board. It's under announcements. It's a channel of Discord. Oh, on the Discord. Okay, okay. Let's have a look. Oh, I got it right in front of me. I should have checked that anyway. Hold off on trades. Rhythmic is putting in an update right now. That was 9 minutes past 10 minutes ago. Oh, balls. Hold off on trades. Flipping heck. It's just what you need. Yeah, I got it on here. Says it here. Today, that's, what's it time? 3:11, it's 3:18. Hold off on trades. Rhythmic is putting in an upgrade right now. Okay. You've heard it from the horse's mouth. That's a splitting the data or whatever it is. Oh god, what's going on now? OBS disconnected and reconnected. Christ almighty, my system's falling apart here. Yeah, they're splitting the data or something, splitting the amount of data that goes through at these peak areas. So it should hopefully stop this from happening. So as long as it works, it just seems like it's just one thing after another to stop your trading, doesn't it? But what can you do? If it works, then so the trouble is, if they've put don't trade and we take a trade, you've just traded my TradeAvate accounts. It's been working with that issue. Yeah, I don't think TradeAvate is an issue, is it, at the moment? It's mainly rhythmic, I believe. Second entry will also be a failed second entry if it forms. Failed second entry short. Ooh. If it forms, he's looking for something here, isn't he? He's looking for a second entry long off here. So, channel, if you call it a channel with a break, to push it down to a new low, and we are moving up. Down. Just trading my TradeAvate. Yeah, I think TradeAvate, I don't think there's a problem with TradeAvate, I don't think, is there? Oh, that's a pain in the arse, isn't it? How long? Is it just a flick of a switch? Can I say I don't know how confident I'll be going along there, to be honest with you. Picture's gone a bit funny, isn't it? It's we had a break, new high, then the pullback, then the news, leg break, new low. So I still like to see us up here somewhere eventually, but there is a possibility I could tweak that and make it fit, and it would look okay on the bottom, I think. But yeah, it does. So touch with a break. So I think it's more likely that that is in one channel. So I'd expect this to come down and break the lows. So I know Thomas was looking for a second entry long, but I actually think that fits okay. I'm not saying it's not going to go up now, but I think it's more likely to come down to these lows. Because that fits just as well, I think. Leg, bit of sideways, and not only that, we hit that area and then dropped again. So I think there's more likelihood of this hitting the lows or breaking the lows. And in fact, I wouldn't even be shocked if we started to, this was just a bigger range. So I'm going to get rid of that and do this. So I'm wondering whether this is just like a spike up and then sideways. I like it when it does that. Breaks above something and then just drops. Unfortunately, it just came down way too far, way too quick. We didn't really get an option. So yeah, I think for me that is it's good enough to be in that channel really. So second entry short, I think that's it. We're not supposed to trade, are we? Okay, so I've got two things to do tonight I didn't do yesterday. One, email Ninja Trader, find out about these orange orders, and being able to screenshot me pictures quickly and drop them into Discord. My Apex copy had turned off all my accounts while I trade. Oh, are you kidding me? I hate hearing stuff like that. Do you know, in all honesty, up until yesterday, I wasn't even aware Ninja Trader had one. When you actually use it, does it prompt you that you have to take responsibility if something happens? Because if it doesn't, then you may be able to contact Ninja Trader and say, look, you know, this is stopped working. Whether you'd have a leg to stand on or not, I don't know. But I've got to say, hand on heart, I've had Replicanto now for 10 months, maybe, somewhere about there, and it's never let me down once. So I'm really pleased with that. Trouble is, sometimes when these companies introduce for the first time, a piece of software, you're going to go through those teething problems. And when you're talking about your accounts, and if you're trading 10 accounts, you earn $200 on a trade. If it doesn't turn on your what's it, you're potentially losing $1,800 if you're trading 10 accounts. That would frustrate the hell out of me. They don't take responsibility. Trouble is, if you'd only, let's say you had 10 accounts going for 2 points, that's $2,000. If your 9 accounts switched off, technically there's $180, $1,800 you missed out on. So I'll be inclined to think about Replicanto myself, or I don't know whether you've ever used it. It's just never let me down. They've been going for a while, and they're forever getting updates. But yeah, sometimes when this software comes out, oh, do you know what? There's a lower high that looks very tempting on the CL.
Order submitted.
I've taken a trade anyway. Oh, I shouldn't really, should I? Oh, shit. I'm just going to go for a little bit. Oh, please don't fuck up now. I shouldn't have taken a trade, really. I forgot about what's it. Please don't cock up.
Order filled.
Okay. I'm in and out. Everything worked okay. There you go, quick $1,000. Christ for that. I didn't go for the full whack. At least it worked. Oh, scared the hell out of me, that did. Apex restored, affected accounts. Yes, they had. Because those evaluations I had an evaluation yesterday. I had a 250 one and a 50k one. They did say if there was any profit in there, you could keep it. But when mine came back, restored, the $1,700 that was in there, they didn't restore. So, okay, I'll quickly show you the trade I took. I like that. We're bouncing off there, bouncing off there. I did expect a break there because of a break here. Leg up, 2 attempts to go lower, 1 leg down. This was part of that first move. Another leg to go down and a push up. And I took that lower high. If I took that long there, I would expect that to get stopped out. That to me is a poor entry to go long, especially after we've gone sideways with a big drop. So I put mine, I didn't want to be cheeky, I put mine right at the bottom because for me it was going to stop that out. I didn't put it 1 tick below because sometimes it'll tick below and then turn. So if you know something's likely to get stopped out, I drop mine right on the bottom. So at least if I know if it pushes below there, it's pushed through my trade. So I like that. Big swift drop. You can see big bars, big bars, big bars, smaller, 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 losing momentum, big drop. Trap some longs. I like that. So for me, I took that lower high back to the EMA. So I was all right with that. So what did I get out of it point wise? How the hell do I work this out? The bloody hell. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33. Is that 6 points? It's not, is it? How the hell did I work out that? It's easy to say I got 2 points. I can't work that out. How the hell do I work that out in points? Anybody know? At least I got out of right place. Just I think, yeah, it was 1 tick below there. So once it breaks below there, it's going to hit some short. So that would just... there's a failure there as well. Okay, so plays with that. So I've got to do the long-winded thing now, haven't I? Snipe tool. No. Save as. Okay. Shove that out of the way. So. Excuse me, sorry. Okay, so. Quick, what's that? 10 accounts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, 10 accounts. Beautiful. So. Try and find the damn thing now. I'll figure it out later. Excuse me. Okay, so that failure would have worked as well, mind you. It was a bit stuck there, so nothing to do. Let's have a look at Apex. Are we still getting the same thing, are we? Yeah, there's a few people saying don't trade. Oh, shoot. Okay, guys, excuse me just a second. I was going to knock on my door. Sorry, it is. I'm surprised somebody told me, actually. I thought you might be rubbing your hands together thinking we got some peace and quiet now for the rest of the day. Okay, sorry about that. How long was I chatting for? I think I'd relish it if I was you. A lot of mouse movement now. Yeah. Sorry about that. It's all right, we just had a couple of parcels delivered. Okay, I will just quickly say, Thomas Wade, I didn't notice Thomas Wade, he did just, where does it send me a message? Well, yesterday, actually. I wasn't aware of it. He said he doesn't actively promote his, where was the message? How do you get the messages? Inbox. Left me a message. I can't remember what it is now. I saw it a minute ago. So I didn't know he sent it. He just said he's seen me stream and he loves it. I'm a hard worker and always trying to look forward to improving. But if I could please not share his group. He doesn't actively advertise it. Whether he likes to keep it, so many in there or not. So you guys know about it now. So I just won't mention it from now on. Out of respect for him. He doesn't want it shared. So I thought he might do. I thought he might appreciate some business, but I think he likes to keep it limited. I don't know. So I won't bring any more screens in out of respect for him, but I just want to let you guys know. That's all. So let's have a look. So are we still getting this? Please do not Rhythmic experience disruptions today. Do not trade Rhythmic accounts. Do not cancel Rhythmic accounts. Do not remove Rhythmic accounts. I don't think I've ever heard him mention it. No, he doesn't. So you guys know about it anyway. So I've said it up to now. So I just want to let guys know. Like I say, you know the story anyway. If you're interested, you know what to do. Let's have a look here. So leg and a leg. Is there a bigger uptrend? I don't think so. So I had a nice trade on the seal anyway, so I'm pleased about that. I could have sat there and waited for $200 on it. But all I was really interested in doing is stopping that out. If that gets stopped out, with that push up there, sort of a bounce off this top, there's going to be traders thinking we're likely to go up. So all I wanted to do is put my take profit one tick below there, because as it passes through the stop and it hits my target, sometimes it's got to push through, but if there is a few stops there, there'll be a tiny bit of momentum, not a huge amount, but there was enough to just pick up my profit order, and then it started going sideways. But unfortunately, you never know it's going to do that. Otherwise, we just sit there. But I don't quite know how to add this up. See, if I put on my stream, if I take 2 points out of the ES, it's pretty straightforward. But this is 0.34 points. So how the hell do I put that down so it's understandable? How do I work that out? What did I get there? So I got $120. So what did I get? How do I word that? 0.12 of a point. How does it work out with ticks? I'm not quite sure how to word that. One tick is, yeah, it's pretty hard to. How do I put that down of how much I've? I'll just put it down one trade or something. It's alright. I usually put it on my chart what I've traded for the day. Google says $10 per tick. Okay, so if I took $120, that would be $10 per tick. So I've gone for 10 ticks here, haven't I? Which is $200. $10 per tick. That would be on one contract. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it just 0.01. It just doesn't seem to make much sense, does it? So 1 tick. So I traded 2 contracts. And so what did I get? 6 ticks then. 6 ticks would be $60, 2 contracts. Okay, so 6 ticks. So would you call that 0.5? It can't be the same, can it? Points can't be the same as ticks, can it? I don't know. I'll just put down 6 ticks. It's going to get complicated otherwise. More rhythmic issues. Oh, you're joking. Check Discord. Holy moly. Let's have a look. Yeah, I will drag this in. It is useful to have this, guys, if you haven't got it, because it's always used to just... So what we know is... I heard John Skelton talking yesterday on some video he'd done recently, is just that surge in data. I think because they're having these big... this 90% off has been extended, by the way, about another week. Because they're having such a big surge in trading, I think the servers are struggling to keep up with it, or the data going through the servers. So I believe they're splitting it into 2, which will... I don't know. I don't know quite how the technical side works, but it's almost like if you're struggling with your internet and all of a sudden you get double the amount of internet speed, then it should ease up. So hopefully, they were supposed to do it yesterday, but they were still doing testing, I suppose. So apparently, will be. So fortunately, I haven't had any accounts anyway, and I hope to God they don't reset my accounts. They shouldn't do, really. It says accounts affected. I just hope they don't do a blanket one and I turn up tomorrow and my accounts are at 0. So anyway, but yeah, so just be careful. That's the Infinite Tech issue, having enough bandwidth for users, yeah. See, I'm lucky where I am at the moment. I have a gigabit. I think if I did a speed test, my upload and download is over 900 megabits per second, so it's spot on actually. Doesn't matter too much on your connection now. So the trouble is, see, if I need, speed or that for NinjaTrader, sometimes the more things you've got connected to the internet, like maybe. I have YouTube and I have OBS. Sucks up some of my data, but because my data's quite large, I don't think it's an issue for me. So yeah. So that was today at 35:45. So that's about 12 minutes ago, and Daryl said hold off. It is a pain in it though when you sit here, you're here to do a day's work and you can't work because of the blooming software, but hopefully though this will make things better. How long we've been going for? Let's have a look. I might do a runner then. How long we've been going for? 1 hour and 20 minutes. Okay, I might knock it on the head there, folks. No point in being here if I can't trade. I might as well. I've got some stuff to do. So I've got to figure out how to take quicker screenshots, and I'm going to email NinjaTrader and find out, because they can't serve you the data. It doesn't matter much. Yeah, more gardening. The weather's a bit naff, but I put my pool up yesterday, so it sounds a bit extravagant, but it's only one of those 12-foot round Intex pools. It's about 1 metre deep and 12-foot round, but we've got a decent sand filter, and when it's a hot day, it's lovely to have a nice plunge with a beer. So garden's looking okay. I've got plenty of seed down. That's coming through nice now. I tend to top it up. I haven't done much the last couple of years, but yeah, it's a bit wet weather today, which is good. I want the grass watering, so I'm just I'll email Apex. I just want to find out why we're getting those orange orders, because you really want to sort these problems out before they start to come and bite you. So that's me done. So 2 trades, 2 days. I'm really pleased with that. I could have waited for a bit more there, but yesterday was the first trade I've done for nearly 2 weeks. I was a bit dry, so I kind of wanted some green on the board. And here, as I say, really, there is a possibility we could come back here and push out. But for me, that is a weak trade. So, as we know, these weak trades, they tend to get picked off. So my stop was a tick below there. That's all I was interested in, capturing a small move. But even $120 over 10 accounts, $1,200. So it's well worth a go. So thanks, Steve. I appreciate that, mate. So look, guys, just keep an eye on that message from, if you haven't seen it, that message from Daryl, because they have said they put trades right, but the trouble is I think they assume everyone reads this and not everybody does. Not everyone's up to date with it, but I would advise you to get this on and just have a quick check before you trade. I mean, if things go wrong, they pretty much reset your accounts, but if it takes them a day or two to do it, you may end up not being able to trade, and it's a bit of a ball ache, isn't it? So just keep an eye on it. But I'm going to leave it there for today. I got to say, my heart was pounding when I got in that trade. Just because of reading that about not trading. But there you go. So look, I'm going to love you and leave you. I'll be back same time tomorrow. So have a great evening. Stay safe. And we will talk again tomorrow. Bye for now.